I wanted to react to a video that was suggested to me below in comments. It's a video called Southern Comfort Foods You Need to Try Before You Die on the Mashed channel. Great name, Mashed. One of my comfort foods is mashed potato, so good name for your channel. This is one of those videos that's done the rounds on a lot of reaction channels, so I guess people wanted to see me react to it, which I'm fine with. Let me know below in comments what you would like me to react to, and I will do my best to oblige. Today's video is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. It offers membership with meaning. You can connect with other creatives and enjoy and indulge your passion, surrounded by a community of encouragement, communication, and inspiration. Most recently, as some of you know, I've been getting through fellow YouTuber Jessica Kabaisi's portrait photography course in order to learn and shoot and edit Instagram-worthy shots. I've been getting braver at taking the shots and doing more decisive editing styles. I love that I can learn a new skill from a creator I already admire. What a cool idea. And there's a ton of really diverse courses for you to upskill for the new year. And what's better than a free trial? Chicken nuggets. Free trial. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description box below will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So you can start exploring your creativity today. Thank you Skillshare for supporting this channel, and on with the video. Like, share, subscribe.
You'll do my bidding or taste my wrath.
If you've ever lived in the American South, you'll know that the food down there has its own unique identity, and it's absolutely delicious too. If you haven't tried these, well, bless your heart. These are—
Bless your heart. We know what that means.
One of the most popular dishes to have come out of New Orleans are beignets. These airy treats are made with usually square pieces of yeast dough that are fried in hot oil until they puff up. They're then generously dusted with powdered sugar and eaten straight away, preferably accompanied by a mug of café au lait. Arguably the best place to enjoy a beignet is in New Orleans, preferably at the Café du Monde. Just make sure to turn them often in the oil and be careful not to open.
But I hate cooking.
Biscuits and Gravy is a hearty breakfast dish that you'll find in restaurants and homes across the South. The soft, flaky biscuits are smothered in white gravy, which is made from pork sausage drippings, milk, and flour. The gravy is seasoned with black pepper and typically includes pieces of the breakfast sausage too, making it even more flavorful.
Okay, all the ingredients sound good.
And there are plenty of different recipes available online. Failing that, you could pick up some of the ready mix packets at the grocery store, although you'll really want to try the homemade stuff at least once. As for the biscuits, if making them from scratch just isn't feasible, the Pillsbury ones you pop open and bake will work just fine. Just don't let a southerner—
I love that doughboy.
Okay, so boiled peanuts sound kind of bland compared to roasted peanuts.
Yeah.
But don't judge a book by its cover. These are actually really good. They're made by taking raw peanuts and boiling them for hours in salty water over a fire until the shells turn soggy. These peanuts are then sold at roadside stands all over the South.
Oh, I must try them. I must try them.
With bottles of Coke or sweet tea. For what it's worth, it's usually best to munch on boiled peanuts outdoors, so you can easily spit out their soggy shells, because it's nearly impossible to crack them open with your hands. Of course, some people opt to eat these peanuts whole, shells and all, but that's one heck of an acquired taste.
Danny DeVito is the boss.
Okay. For centuries, people have been making use of their stale bread by creating their own kinds of bread pudding, often made with bread, cream, eggs, sugar, spices, and raisins. Modern bread pudding is the heartiest of comfort foods and should do wonders for warming you up on a cold and dreary day.
It looks a lot like Irish bread and butter pudding.
Pudding even better? Just add bourbon. In the South, people often add a few
I
want
to try that.
Different recipes, and bread pudding is one of them. The bourbon combines with the cream and sugar to create a thick, warm sauce that is drizzled over the warm bread pudding right before serving.
I'm just like
Brunswick stew is a hearty tomato-based stew that's hugely popular in the South. It typically features lima beans, corn, and other vegetables, along with some sort of meat. The base includes barbecue sauce and a little hot sauce for some heat too. Early versions of the stew use squirrel meat, but if you're not brave enough to keep it authentic, you can always substitute the squirrel with rabbit, chicken, or just about anything else.
I controversially don't like stew. I know I'm Irish, I know that's strange, but it is what it is.
Fried catfish is a simple dish that's available at most restaurants that serve fish in the South. And the good news is that catfish is pretty good for you, since it's high in omega-3 fatty acids and low in mercury.
Everything.
If you can't find it at a restaurant near you, however, your grocery store may offer farmed catfish, which is also typically clean and nutritious. Catfish is easy enough to prepare. Dip it in milk, dredge it in seasoned cornmeal, and fry it in hot oil. It only takes a few minutes to get it golden brown on the outside and beautifully flaky on the inside. Add a squirt of lemon and a side of rice. Then start
Doesn't look as nice as it did in the other one.
Chicken fried steak, sometimes called country fried steak, is made from a tenderized cube steak which is battered like fried chicken, pan-fried and topped with white gravy. While you can find chicken fried steak in an array of southern states, it's most closely associated with Texas. And as with most things, it's always
I never got to try that.
In fact, at Lulu's Cafe in San Antonio, you can find a 21-ounce version of this dish. And it's not a coincidence that Lulu's is also home to the famous 3-pound cinnamon roll too. That's just how they roll down there, as it were. For your next Super Bowl party, why not forego the wings and serve up a batch of Southern fried chicken gizzards instead? Believe it or not, your guests might thank you for it. Okay, so you probably don't want to think too much about what a gizzard is.
Oh no, I
That'll
don't.
be easy enough to do once you realize how good it tastes.
No, I don't want to know.
You can cook gizzards in a number of ways.
Okay, no, I don't want them now. No, I don't like to think about the food. What it was before it was food.
Ambrosia didn't actually originate in the South, but you'll still find it at
Ambrosia.
plenty of Southern potlucks.
That's a different thing in Ireland.
It contains mandarin oranges, mini marshmallows,
custard.
pineapple chunks, and shredded coconut mixed with some sort of dairy
Oh, that
ingredient.
sounds horrendous.
Some people use mayonnaise, while others use cream cheese, plain yogurt,
Oh,
or whipped cream.
mayonnaise!
You might also find some potluckers add in bananas, cherries, and nuts too. Because why the heck not, right? Think of it like a
No,
banana split without the
thank you.
ice cream. And then maybe throw in some ice
It's
cream.
nothing
anyway.
like banana split.
If you live north of the Mason-Dixon line, you've probably never experienced chitlins
Chitlins.
before, and you are most
Heard of
definitely
these.
missing out. Chitlins are made from the large intestines of a hog, and they need to be carefully cleaned and prepared before cooking.
Oh,
for
no,
obvious
thank you.
reasons.
No, thank
Typically,
you.
the intestines are soaked in
Oh,
baking
that
soda
does
and
not look
water, rinsed several
delicious.
times,
No.
turned inside out, and cleaned by hand before being boiled for several hours. And just
No,
in case
thank
you're
you.
doing this at home,
No,
be warned.
thank you.
Chitlins smell truly disgusting while they are boiling, so put some onion and lemon in the water to tone down the odor. After
see
they are
no
boiled,
appeal.
batter and deep fry them. Then serve them up with a little hot sauce.
Hot sauce, yes.
Own version of chow chow. It's actually
heard
completely
of
different
chow
from the
chow.
southern variety. In the South, chow chow is a cabbage-based type of pickled relish that incorporates onions, peppers, tomatoes, and a whole lot of seasoning. This stuff is often used as a topping for hot dogs and hamburgers, but you could
Topping,
also use it to
side
top your
dish,
cornbread,
sure.
fish cakes, beans, and even your mashed potatoes. In fact, you can put it on just about anything. It'll taste great no matter what. Collard greens are a leafy green vegetable, not completely unlike turnip or mustard greens, and are most often associated with soul food. They can be bitter and tough if not cooked properly. But if they're done right, then they'll make the...
You have an Irish cousin, collard beans. You have an Irish cousin.
People often throw a ham bone into the pot, along with garlic and onion for a little extra flavor. But one of the best additions to collard greens has got to be bacon. You can never go wrong with bacon.
Everything's good with bacon. Don't think about it too much. Pigs are so cute.
Crawfish, crayfish, crawdads, or mudbugs, whatever you call them in your neck of the woods, these freshwater
I'm not a
crustaceans
fish
are some of
fan.
the tastiest seafood out there. Of course, you can eat crawfish meat dipped in drawn butter, just like you would with lobster. But if you ever find yourself in the Cajun areas of Louisiana, do yourself a favor and seek out crawfish etouffee. This is when crawfish
just
meat
not
in
a
a
fan.
spicy roux is poured over rice for an amazing dish
sure
with a
it's
seriously
lovely.
deep flavor. As simple as it sounds, you don't want to make fried chicken and waffles at home. Instead, hop on
I
over to
got
one of the
this.
South's many awesome waffle establishments or diners. The places
got
that
this
really
in
get it right.
Miami,
If you haven't experienced
in a
chicken
soul
and waffles
food
before,
place. Oh.
it might seem like an unusual combination, but it
It
really does
was
work. Crispy on the outside,
Insanely
crispy on the
delicious.
inside.
One of my favorite
Perfect
dishes of
seasoned
all
fried
time.
chicken makes a heavenly partner for a plate of buttery waffles. This is also an incredibly
Oh,
versatile
so I
dish
want it
and should
now.
work great for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a late night snack.
Breakfast.
Fried green tomatoes is a simple southern side dish that packs a big
I
punch.
know the movie.
The key when making fried green tomatoes is to avoid them turning into a soft, soggy mess. Check your unripened tomatoes are suitably firm, then cut them into
Oh, they
3/8
are
to
green.
half-inch slices, and soak them for an hour in a mixture of buttermilk and hot sauce. Dredge the tomatoes in a combination of cornmeal and cornstarch, then fry
Tomatoes.
them in bacon grease over medium-high heat until they're crispy on the outside.
I miss the smell of coffee and bacon.
That's the
frying.
one. That's the one.
Oh, what I wouldn't give for a plate of fried green tomatoes.
If you're looking for something a little out of the ordinary to fill you up, consider jambalaya. A favorite in Louisiana, jambalaya is a mix of sausage, chicken, seafood, and vegetables, cooked in the same pot with rice and stock. Creole jambalaya contains tomatoes, while the Cajun version does not. Both, of course, are extremely tasty.
Sounds good, but for the fish part.
In Cajun jambalaya, in rural Louisiana, you might also find a variety of game meats used, as well as alligator, crayfish, and even turtle. All Southerners know that everything's better when you fry it, and okra is no exception. The best thing here is that okra is seriously good for you, since it's low in calories and contains a great
well,
deal
not
of
when you
fiber,
fry it.
potassium, calcium, and vitamins. The hot brown sandwich originated at the restaurant in the Brown Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky in the 1920s, and it's still served there today. The hot brown is traditionally an open-faced turkey sandwich with tomatoes covered in Mornay sauce, which is baked, topped with bacon, and then broiled. Some people say it was originally created with peaches rather than tomatoes. Pretty much everyone agrees, however, that it's a genuine, bona fide, once-in-a-lifetime sandwich. If you've ever eaten at Long John
interesting.
Silver's, you've probably had their Hush Puppies.
Hush Puppies.
But the ones you can get at a southern restaurant or fish fry are a heck of a
I know
lot
the
better than the
shoes.
Long John variety. Hush Puppies are basically balls of fried cornmeal batter that are often served alongside fried fish or shrimp. Though Hush Puppies aren't exactly complex, they're kind of like potato chips, and
What
that
are
it's
they?
virtually impossible to eat just one.
They're a side dish. Oh, they look good.
High-quality bourbon is hard to beat. If you don't have a restaurant in your
pecan
area that makes a
pie.
killer pecan pie, though, it's not too difficult to make at home.
I need to try
However, you'll
pecan
want
pie.
to experiment with the amounts of corn syrup, brown sugar, and bourbon you're using until you find just the right combination. And sure, you might end up having to bake a load of pies to get it right, but who's gonna complain about that? If you aren't from the South, then there's a chance you aren't too familiar with pimento cheese. Basically, pimento cheese is a mixture of cheese mixed with mayo and pimento peppers. It can be spread on crackers, stuffed into celery, and scooped onto chips. Some people
dip.
add it to scrambled eggs or grits, while others use it as a relish for brats, burgers, and hot
I'm
dogs.
down.
In Louisiana,
That's
they
nice.
spice it up by adding hot sauce or cayenne pepper into the mix. But the possibilities for pimento cheese are endless, and once you start incorporating it into your recipes, you're never going to want
Cheese,
to stop.
anything is good.
Pot liquor is the liquid that's left behind after you boil green vegetables. So what do you do with it other than pour it down the sink? Well, some people save pot liquor and use it in place of stock in their next stew or soup, while others pour it over rice or potatoes.
I've done that. I didn't call it anything.
It might seem a little odd, but that way you can reap all the nutrients that have boiled out of the greens. Red beans and rice is a staple dish in Louisiana Creole cuisine. Traditionally, families took the ham hocks, bones, vegetables, and beans that were left over from
tried
Sunday
them.
dinner and used them to create a scrumptious dish of
tried them.
spicy beans
In
that were
Ireland.
served with rice the next day. Cayenne pepper, Tabasco sauce, and other seasonings can turn up the heat on this hearty meal, while some people like to add in sausage or other meats. Here's a tip though. If you boil bones to make a broth for the base, you'll get exactly the flavor you want without having to add anything else. Gumbo is sometimes confused with jambalaya, but it's not the same thing at all.
Ooh,
The key
yeah,
difference is that with
gumbo.
jambalaya, the rice
You
is
want
cooked
me to
with the
try
rest of the
gumbo.
ingredients. With gumbo, however, the rice is cooked separately. Gumbo is a stew created with a strong,
it's
robust
fish.
stock, sausage, shrimp, other shellfish, and the holy trinity of vegetables: bell peppers, celery, and onions. The most important aspect of home cooking a
Can I
great
make
gumbo
chicken
is
gumbo?
perfecting the roux that's used as its base. Or you could just head down to New Orleans and get someone to make it for you. Your call.
Where's my mac and cheese?
Everyone knows that real macaroni and cheese doesn't come out of a box,
Mac
nor
and
does it come with a packet of powdered cheese.
What?
Real good old-fashioned Southern mac and cheese is a completely separate dish altogether.
Oops.
It's often created with the combination of cheeses, and you can use anything from smoked cheddar and Monterey Jack to Gruyere and Velveeta. Southern recipes usually feature heavy whipping cream, evaporated milk, or both. And the dish is baked in the oven until the sauce is creamy and the top is crispy. No matter how much you love macaroni and cheese, you've never really tried it until you've had it in the South. You
I'll
might have
accept
seen
that.
sweet potato casserole at Thanksgiving dinner and passed it by. But it's time to stop sleeping on this delicious dish. Though some folks love it topped with charred marshmallows, others prefer a topping made with brown sugar and
You guys
pecans.
are crazy.
Give it a go, and you'll soon realize that this often overlooked
I mean, it
Thanksgiving
looks
side dish
good.
deserves a place on your dinner table all through the
All
year.
those things are good. I just wouldn't think to combine them. Oh, stop. I'm so hungry now. Thanks a lot, mashed. And the funny thing is, I don't get to eat any of those things because they don't exist here mostly. And that's it for today. I hate you for making me watch that because I'm so freaking hungry now. And it's a hunger I can't satisfy. Okay, bye. Hello, Butty. Just checking in. How are you? Are we good? Great name, mashed. One of my comfort foods is mashed potato. We have to record in here sometimes because it's too noisy out the front, isn't it? Yes. Yes. Sorry, I did the wrong. He did a different voice.